Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. July is here, and that can only mean one thing, the biggest party in the state. Of course, we're talking about Spanish Forks Fiesta Days. And with me today is Stacy Beck from City Council, Karen Bradford, the Assistant Director of the Spanish Fork Parks and Recreation Department, Emily Harriman, the Special Events Supervisor, and Nick Hanks, the Manager over the Rodeo and Fairgrounds. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
It's an exciting time of year. Are you ready to do this?
Yes.
Have you had any sleep?
Ask us that at the end.
Right.
Right now, I think we're getting sleep.
We're doing good. Yeah.
Okay. You're new this year, right?
I am.
So we'll pick on you first. That's always kind of a fun
Okay.
right? So what is your primary focus, and what are you specifically in charge of, I guess, for Fiesta Days?
Primary focus is everything.
Everything.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. So I'm pretty much over a majority of events, with the exception of the rodeo and the recreation activities. And so I'm just doing the best I can to help all of our chairs, co-chairs, and past chairs with the events.
Fantastic.
Can I just give a shout out to Emily?
Yes,
Because
please.
she's been fantastic. Elaine Hansen used to work part-time on this, and our city is so big, and we do have so many events that Emily has taken on this role, and it's a full-time gig to do Fiesta Days and all the other events she does throughout the year, and she's so meticulous and keeps us all organized, and you've been fantastic, Emily.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, maybe for someone who's brand new to the city, to Spanish Fork City, what is Fiesta Days? Who wants to take that one?
Well, Fiesta Days is a way that the city council and mayor throw a big party for the citizens. And that's basically what it is. We have a lot of free events with Fiesta Days that families can just come and enjoy, good entertainment. So it's one big 2-week party.
Right. Well, and it spans over the Pioneer Day celebration, so it ends on the 24th, but kicks off officially
On the 12th.
on the 12th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we actually do have some events that go after,
A little
that
post.
just wrap
Okay.
up the play, Beauty and the
Oh,
Beast,
right.
and also the tennis tournament
Okay.
finishes after. So.
Okay, so let's talk about the rodeo for just a second. We'll pick on Nick. So how long have you been leading the rodeo?
You know what, this is my third year with the city and being over the rodeo. So.
And I want to say, is there an extra day this year?
There is,
Okay.
yeah. So this year we have 5 nights of rodeo. We'll start on July 19th, Friday night, and have our standard rodeo. And then on Saturday, the 20th, we're going to have a new event called an Extreme Bowls. And it's a PRCA sanctioned event. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll have 45 bull riders that night.
Oh, wow.
Broke up in 5 sections. It'll be high energy, really fun. So we're excited about that. Okay. And then we'll come back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and have our other 3 performances of our rodeo.
Fantastic. Well, I know a lot of people get really excited about the rodeo beforehand, so most everybody probably already has their tickets.
I bought mine today.
You opened yours today, Karen, you're behind.
I am.
So maybe for those that don't know exactly where to go to buy tickets, and let me ask you, would it be the same for the rodeo event and the Bulls event?
It is.
One and the same? Okay.
Tickets are the same money. They're purchased at the same place. We actually, just starting today, have 2 people that can help you in the city offices. In the main lobby right there, you can buy tickets, or you can go to sfcitytix.com.
Okay.
So that's one of the big reasons we did the 5th night, was there's been people kind of on the outside looking in that couldn't get tickets.
Oh, that's
So,
sad. I can just imagine them out there.
Yeah.
I'd be out there
Trying to
eating my
peer
rodeo
through.
burgers anyway. That's always my favorite part, as Stacy knows, like the concessions. Well, everybody has in their hand the new, hot off the press. You're excited about this one, aren't you?
Yes.
Tell us how everybody gets this. Does it just land in the mailbox?
Yes, this
Okay.
will actually be coming out in the mailbox probably by the time everybody views this. So later this week, we've been working very hard on the Fiesta Days magazine. And one of the highlights of the magazine is in the center here, gives you the schedule of all the events that we have going on. And then you can turn to all the other pages and get more details. And then we've got some ads in here from some of our local businesses who are have partnered with us on Fiesta Days.
Okay. So if maybe they don't happen to get one or need an extra copy or something,
They can come either to the Parks and Recreation office or to City Hall at 40 South Main.
okay. It's always a great reference guide because you can look in there and just see everything that's listed, how things have maybe expanded or changed over the years. But what about numbers? How many folks do we expect over those 2 weeks?
A few.
I know for volunteer numbers, we're at 400 to 500
Yeah.
volunteers to make this.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about volunteers for a minute because I think that's just one of the cool things. So there's volunteers literally like in the park and where,
So many places. Just to start off, I'll give a shout out who you'll be interviewing soon as our chairman.
Okay.
And there's 3 couples, and it's a 3-year commitment, but they start the very next month after the previous Fiesta Days. We meet in August, and we meet monthly for the entire year to start getting everything pulled together. And then they have their subcommittees, and everyone just communicates and pulls things together and looks for volunteers. And we all receive emails and phone calls throughout the year of people that are interested in volunteering. The Youth City Council is a big group, 60 youth that will come and help at several different events. And it's why Fiesta Days, I think, is so successful, the volunteers behind it.
Well, I think it's just one of those huge city efforts too. I mean, this
Definitely.
community is just such a great place to be because somebody always seems to have their hand up volunteering.
Yeah.
Well, and I've had other cities call to say, how do you get your volunteers? And it's just crazy how the people in Spanish Fork support. And we start with great event chairs who then spread out, and they each have a web of volunteers that they each get as well.
Well, I do love the way that it's set up also because you have somebody who's had the past experience, you have somebody who's experiencing it in that year, and then somebody who's coming in and so they're getting exposed and learning, and but it's evolving, so you don't kind of get stuck in the same old ways and getting people to come. And by way of marketing, I mean, is that just something that occurs all year long, or?
We always try to have the website updated by February 1st. So if you're interested in being a food vendor, craft fair, any of those applications are online February 1st, and all the information. So that's why we have to plan so far ahead so that we get everything gathered and updated to be ready to go live in February.
Right.
We'll have posters up a lot of local businesses as well to direct people the website and different activities there.
A lot of people passing through on the freeway too. I noticed that those billboards kind of go up pretty early too.
Yeah.
We've been using social media as well to get information out to people so that they know that they can buy discount carnival tickets or what events are taking place, such as the car show.
Right, what a draw, right? So, I
Yes.
mean, you've only just touched on a couple of things, but so you just mentioned the carnival, you just mentioned the car show, which bring in a lot of people from out of town. Let's talk parades for a minute.
That's a fun one.
Our parade, it's July 1st, and our parade is already full. We expect 100 people, or 100 entries each year. We already are over 100 entries, so it went really quick, and it's very popular.
Wow. And that's the big one on the 24th.
Yes.
And then over the weekend, there's the children's parade.
We have the children's parade,
And then what about, does the Western Heritage Parade continue, or is that something that has been discontinued? Kind of bringing the livestock into town and seeing some of the cowboys and cowgirls early.
Yeah, you know what, I believe that's been discontinued this year.
Okay.
Well, and even bringing the livestock down, like the old days where we brought them down Center Street and drove them, that's all gone because now your livestock's all professional.
Yeah, and
It's as professional as the cowboys.
Right, well, you don't want to get a runaway bull or something. And I know even sometimes having the horses on the asphalt is a little bit scary sometimes. But even, I mean, volunteers even for pooper scoopers, right?
Oh, yes. Yes. Those lucky kids.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
What else? Is there anything that I've not mentioned that you'd love to touch on?
I want to just touch base quickly on our Fiesta Days Grand Marshals.
Oh, yes.
This year, it's Emily and Richard Johnson, and it's such a fun process. Do you agree? When our committee, we kind of get on the chalkboard and start writing names and just kind of thinking about people that have been really involved in our community their whole life.
Yeah,
And so
oriented.
when we narrowed it down to this couple who you'll be interviewing soon, they just have it all. I think the biggest thing currently, Richard Johnson is the one that started the Freedom Walk for the fifth graders for Spanish Fork and Salem, and he has organized that whole thing. They just celebrated their 3rd year as well.
Oh my word.
And it just brings all of the fifth grade kids together at the different elementaries, and they come down for a morning and spend time together and learn about those who have gone before us and served. And so he was the visionary behind that. So we're excited for their time to shine and be recognized.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, also in recreation as well. What about some of the events?
We have all our staples: kickball, softball, golf. Swimming. Yes, we have a new one. There's what am I forgetting? Tennis.
Did you say spike ball?
Spike ball, yeah, that's growing. But we have with our 24 new pickleball court. No, we only have 16.
16.
We need 24.
Thinking.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to plan for. With our 16 new pickleball courts, we have a pickleball tournament.
Wow.
So I'm sure that will fill up and be lots of fun. It's called the Heat Seeker.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. We've talked a little bit more about the rodeo. But are there any specialty acts or something else super exciting we should be watching out for this year?
This year, we have what I think is probably the favorite act of our fans. We had it 3 years ago. Cowboy Kenny's motorcycle tour. And if you can remember back, he's the one we bring in after the rodeo, because we set up like the 20-foot high jump.
Yes.
And he'll do the back flips and aerials, and he's a riot. He's crazy. So it'll be a lot of fun. So don't leave early. If you come to the rodeo, when they get done with the bull riding, make sure to stick around.
Okay, stay for the spectacular. And then I think there's one other favorite thing that maybe we've not touched on, but I think that we're one of the last communities that might be allowed to be doing it, or one of the very few, and that's the flag retirement ceremony. What day is that?
That is on Tuesday, I believe.
July 16th.
Yeah, July 16th, Tuesday the 16th. That starts at 7:30, and they have a nice little short program, and then they have their scouts help retire the flags with the National Guard, and it's really stirring.
It really is.
Really awesome.
If anybody has not ever had a chance to attend that, you really should go. I mean, talk about feeling super patriotic and just happy to live here, and what a great thing to enjoy. Also the Pioneer Spirit recipient, Gail Halverson.
That is awesome.
That was an easy one this year.
Yeah, it was.
That one we just it was Gail, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just telling my kids last night that he's the candy bomber from World War II. And
oh, yes.
There's so much about him right now. Emily, I mean, do you have a lot to say about that? Do you know more about him? I mean, besides the aviation center they're building down at the airport.
The aviation center was one of the things that I thought really stood out for what he's doing for our community.
Yeah, just local.
Mm-hmm. But as far as what he's done and everything worldwide, the list is just so long. He's just somebody so great to have in our community.
Well, and what he stands for, hope. I mean, that was the whole point of the Candy Bomber, was to give those kids some hope. And, in a time that was just so hard. And
isn't he almost 100?
I'm not sure.
I think it's getting close. I wouldn't dare say for sure.
And he's just a doll.
And his plans are to be in the Grand Parade this year. So we're really excited to have him part of that.
We will recognize him at Sunday night in the park.
Oh,
that's
fantastic.
when we introduce him and recognize him.
Well, as you know, I know that you know, but our outgoing title holder from this past year, Miss Spanish Fork, Morgan Olson, paid tribute to Gail at the shoe parade at Miss Utah this year. So her shoes actually had the little parachute with some of the candy, and then she was able to wear her grandpa's jacket. So there's a lot of pride here for that. So that was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. And then finally, you talked about the Grand Parade, and that it will be live right here on Channel 17. So make sure that you're watching for that. This year's Fiesta Days appears to be the biggest and the best ever.
Definitely.
So make sure that you get those rodeo tickets and join right into all the fun.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for being here.